I think a lot of people think it's an obvious decision. Don't allow mobile phones in schools. But surely teachers are under a lot of pressure. How do they police that?
Well, look, the situation is very simple. Most head teachers that I know ban mobile phones. Certainly I did when I was a head teacher in East London, but some don't. And when I was at Ofsted, we brought out a very important report called Under the Radar, which said that low-level disruption in schools is a curse.
Yeah, I would agree that
it's children arriving late to lessons, chatting in class, passing notes around, and mobile phones going off in class. And that's why good head teachers ban mobile. Yeah. Some don't. Some indulgent head teachers, some who want to take the least line of resistance with parents, don't do that. And we've got a real problem in this country. We've got to face up to it of teacher recruitment and retention. If you look at the statistics and you speak to the teacher unions, they'll say newly qualified teachers leave after a short period in the profession.
But what's the link between that and mobile
because
phones?
They get fed up with low-level disruption.
We're moving towards a digitalised world in so many ways, and we have the opportunity with low-resource poor schools to use these to our advantage. It's about educating and regulating their use, not a total ban.
So what would you do? What would you do? You'd allow the kids to have the phones...
So in schools where I've worked, there is exceptional examples of behaviour management processes which work and work well. So keeping phones in bags, turning them off during the school day, it means that you can, if it's up to this individual school and it's up to the teachers to decide how to use these
Your point is that you see them as, you know, with schools under pressure financially, it's a good idea for children to have mobile phones because it's an alternative to an iPad or a whiteboard.
Resource. If you use something like Kahoot in a class, kids go crazy for it. So Kahoot is an app where you, at the end of a lesson, you can have a quiz ready that will test the learning that they've done that lesson.
But the problem is not...
The problem is a lot of them will be playing Fortnite and being on Facebook and
Snapchat.
And Instagram.
They're not.
Of course they are.
You get, if they phones...
Why are you, former teachers, so naive about what kids would use phones for in class?
Because my behaviour management is good, and if your behaviour management is good...
Why aren't you in teaching now?
Because I wanted to explore other options, and if I'd always just been a teacher, how was I supposed to teach about the rest of the world to people if I'd only ever been in education?
Did you enjoy teaching?
I loved it.
What do you think about... Because it's like Michael Wilshaw says, you know, there is this... I mean, whether it's phones or not, there is a lot of pressure on teachers at the moment. And
we just talk about the recruitment issue. Why are we not retaining talent? Why? What is going on in schools?
As someone who's left the industry, what do you think the problem is?
I don't think there's enough support from people helping you to become the best teacher you can, and calling teachers lazy, blaming people and just banning things to solve a bigger issue.
Some teachers are lazy, though, aren't they?
Aren't some people lazy?
Yes, that's my point.
And that's, you know, and you'll find that...
What is wrong with somebody who ran Ofsted saying to the lazy teachers, stop being lazy? I mean, what's wrong with being genuinely honest and critical about people who deserve it?
I would like to know how you
I didn't
call
I never in my time at Ofsted called teachers lazy. What I did say is that good head teachers ensure that there's strong, robust performance management, which means that they identify people who aren't committed, who don't work particularly hard, who don't go the extra mile and don't promote them.
I had lazy teachers and I had great teachers. Well, why pretend there aren't lazy teachers? Of course there are, like in any profession.
Yeah,
there are lazy TV presenters.
But our discussion is about banning mobile phones, and if we pretend that we are not moving, if we get behind with the rest of the world who are integrating it as part of their
curriculum... Well, the rest of the world is doing something about it.
Yeah, what other countries have banned mobile?
Well, the rest of the world is waking up to this problem, and, you know, I note with some interest that President Macron, who's a Liberal, wants to ban mobile phones, is introducing legislation in the French Parliament to ban mobile phones.
But schools are using mobile phones in some cases to supplement the fact that they don't have the budget to get electronic aids in class.
Every school, even the poorest schools in the land, have interactive whiteboards, they have laptops, they have computers.
But what about apps? What do you know about apps?
You know,
and how they're being used?
Yeah, but the problem is that you've got a lot of faith, if you don't mind me saying, in the average school child using it for the right reasons. I know from my three sons, you know, when I'm getting messages at 2:30 in the afternoon, they shouldn't be sending them, right? So it's like, get off your phone and get back to your studies. So the problem is kids, because they're on their phones all the time, most of it is for leisure and pleasure use, right? They're not going to keep to the rules you think they're going to keep to.
No, but I think we can educate and regulate on how to use phones properly. Now, we're all facing a phone addiction where we are ourselves screenagers, and we can all admit that. So how do we regulate and educate safe use?
That presumes, though, that
and harness
in the 25,000 schools that we have in our country, we've got 25,000 great head teachers and 500,000 great teachers. We don't have that. We've got some weak people in the system who need to be buttressed and supported through legislation.